You're welcome to ICAN On Air today, the last day in the month of July 2025. Thank God for life. Thank God for every one of you. Good evening to my professional colleagues, friends of chartered accountants, wives, husband, like our past president would always refer every one of you to be. It's great to be here today to discuss something that really matters to help us. It's not about the academics now, it's all about our health. They say health is wealth. And today we're going to be looking at balancing physical and financial health. So you know that your financial health is important, but we also want you to understand that your physical health is very important. My name is Fumi Olani, and I'm very happy to be in the studio with you today, talking about how to prioritize our lifestyle, how to prioritize our health, the quality of our lives, also the financial wellness of our well-being. I hope that rhymes. So welcome again to ICAN On Air. We'd like to go on a short break, and when we come back, I'll be bringing into the studio a delectable coach. I call her Coach T. She'll be in the studio very soon to tell us everything we need to know about the well-being and also how to balance our health. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome again.
In today's interconnected world, complexity is the new normal. An accountant must navigate this landscape, leveraging interdisciplinary approaches to drive sustainable growth. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, USA District, invites you to our 12th ICAN USA International Accountant Conference. Join us for 4 days of inspiring keynotes, interactive sessions, and expert panel sessions. Date is 26th to 31st of August 2025. Theme: Navigating Complexity, Accountants as Catalyst for Interdisciplinary Solutions. Venue is Windham, Indianapolis Airport Hotel, 2544 Executive Drive, Indianapolis, in 46241. Join the conversation. Shape the future.
Thinking of fast-tracking your career in finance and business? Here's why the ATWA qualification is your next smart move. It is a recognized qualification respected across West Africa, especially in public service, commerce, and industry. It gives your career a real boost. Once qualified, you earn the professional title AATWA, instantly adding credibility to your name. You also get a head start in the job market as employers actively seek AATWA holders because of the strong training and dependability. For organizations, it is a smart hire. Many companies prefer ATWA professionals for their cost efficiency and competence. It is a gateway to bigger things. ATWA lays a solid foundation for advancing to chartered status like ICAN and other prestigious qualifications. You can start earning right away. As an ATWA holder, you are equipped to offer personal financial consulting and earn independently. Your qualification travels with you. ATWA is recognized across the region, giving you mobility and access in multiple West African countries. So, why wait? Do not just read about the benefits, experience them. Take the next step forward, becoming an ATWA holder, and unlock opportunities across industries, borders, and beyond. Register today at icanportal.org/ATS, because the journey to professional relevance and regional recognition starts now.
May I have your attention, please?
Africa's biggest accounting conference is here again. The 55th ICAN Annual Accountants Conference holds October 6 to 10, 2025. Big conversations, bold ideas, powerful connections. Save the date. ICAN is calling.
Okay, you're welcome back to ICAN On Air, and like you've seen in all the adverts, you need to continue to educate yourself, because today we're going to be dealing with physical and financial health. But today we're dealing with our physical as much as our financial health. And we have someone that can really break that down. I call out Coach T. Coach T, welcome to the program today. It's ICAN On Air again.
Thank you very much for me. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, viewers. Good to be here. Hi, for me. Can you hear me?
In today's interconnected world, complexity is the new normal. An accountant must navigate this landscape, leveraging interdisciplinary approaches to drive sustainable growth. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, USA District, invites you to our 12th ICAN USA International Accountant Conference. Join us for 4 days of inspiring keynotes, interactive sessions, and expert panel sessions. Date is 26th to 31st of August 2025. Theme: Navigating Complexity, Accountants as Catalyst for Interdisciplinary Solutions. Venue is Windham, Indianapolis Airport Hotel, 2544 Executive Drive, Indianapolis, in 46241. Join the conversation. Shape the future.
Thinking of fast-tracking your career in finance and business? Here's why the ATWO qualification is your next smart move. It is a recognized qualification respected across West Africa, especially in public service, commerce, and industry. It gives your career a real boost. Once qualified, you earn the professional title AATWA, instantly adding credibility to your name. You also get a head start in the job market as employers actively seek AATWA holders because of the strong training and dependability. For organizations, it is a smart hire. Many companies prefer ATWA professionals for their cost efficiency and competence. It is a gateway to bigger things.
Coach T.
Hi.
Please confirm I'm audible. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome to the studio. Thank you very much for obliging us with your face and also your scholarly knowledge of this subject matter. So, ladies and gentlemen, my professional colleagues, we're here to learn from this erudite scholar. And I would say thank you once again for joining the program, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I think we should just go straight into the question, right? Because I see you've taught a lot of people, banks, commercial banks, you've taught merchant banks, you've taught people in different associations. But my question for you is, when you talk about fiscal and financial health, they are both very important things, right? So people may prioritize and say one is more important than the other, but it takes one person to be alive to also have the finances that it takes. If you don't have a fiscal health, you can't do anything about your financial health. So what would you say? This is just a question for you. I mean, just to launch the program. I would say, in simple terms, what is wellness to you? And what are the angles from which wellness can be mirrored?
Okay, so thanks a lot for me. I like to start, whenever I think about health and wellness, I like the WHO definition of health, which is not just the absence of sickness, but the complete state of well-being. And I absolutely love that definition.
Absence of sickness. Coach T? Okay, I think Coach T is having some network glitch, but at the same time, we are really, really willing to learn from her today. There's so much we need to know about ourselves. When was the last time you even you went to the clinic for a checkup? Some people may say, I don't have an HMO package. Some would even say it's too expensive for me to check my health. But did you go to the restaurants sometime soon? Did you even travel? Did you have the leisure or the funds to do some other things? And you never counted or described your health as being important. I think I was speaking to a group of professional colleagues about last week. I said, when last did you go for a checkup? A lot of people said they haven't done it this year, but they did it last year. Some people haven't, even as females, they haven't even done a mammogram, for example. So please, let's be very careful how we prioritize our health. We know that this money is good. Everybody wants to look for money. It's important for us to have some funds. But how much more our health? How much more the health of the people around us? So it's all about the financial well-being, is all about the physical well-being. You need to check what your health status is at every point in time. I hope we'll have our coach come into the studio very soon. Remember, this is ICAN On Air, and we are discussing physical and financial health, balancing wellness. Are you balancing your health? Are you balancing everything about your wellness? Whether it's your financial wellness, is your physical wellness, is your spiritual wellness, whatever wellness it is. Oh, yes, we have Coach T back in the studio. Please go on.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I got tossed out. Apparently,
it's okay. We understand. It's okay.
Okay. I was just saying that I love the WHO definition of health, which is not just the absence of sickness, but overall well-being, which is physical, emotional, and social. Now, when it comes to wellness, wellness is the deliberate act of chasing your health. So wellness has to do with all of the activities you engage in to choose health over sickness. That's what I would call wellness. And it has different dimensions. I mean, and for me, I heard you saying, mentioning some of them. You have emotional wellness, you have financial wellness, social wellness, economic wellness. There are all kinds and aspects of wellness.
Thank you very much. Oh, yes, perfectly. I heard you. And I love the fact that you had to take it from WHO, the owners of the wellness stock. So that's fantastic. Thank you very much. But, in defining what wellness is there any clash between the physical and the financial health?
Oh, absolutely. And that's where, unfortunately, a lot of professionals seem to find themselves caught up. Because they are chasing financial wellness, they tend to sacrifice physical wellness. And that's where you begin to see clashes that result from things like stress. There's usually financial stress, which manifests itself in physical ways like headaches, high blood pressure, chronic illnesses. You have health, what they call it now, investment, wellness, and sickness. So you can be healthy physically and financially unhealthy. Sometimes you can have the clash where your physical is healthy, your finances are unhealthy. Sometimes your physical is unhealthy, and because your physical is unhealthy, your financial is also unhealthy. Sometimes you also have the clash of productivity versus income. Am I healthy enough to chase the income I'm looking for? Sometimes I am healthy, but I cannot chase the amount of income I need. So there's always going to be that nexus between good health and financial health. And this is now physical wellness versus financial wellness. There's always going to be some nexus. There's always going to be some clash. Because sometimes, let's talk about some areas of clash where you have, for example, and for me, this is very common even for females, the cost of living healthy. So we all know we want to live healthy. We know we admire good health, good lifestyle, but it comes at a price. It comes at a cost. So how much is it costing me to live healthy? For instance, if I want to live on just green vegetables and fruits, you will agree with me that it's cheaper to eat amala and ewedu than to eat a bowl of lovely, lush vegetable salad, for example, with olive oil dressing. So it's cheaper to get beef than white chicken off the bone, healthy grown chicken. So there's always going to be the clash and those nexus, those meeting points and the clash, yes, between living healthy and being financially healthy. And that's what professionals face a lot as well.
Thank you very much, Coach T. I hope you're listening, all our professional colleagues. You have to be all right in terms of your wellness status. Please just be all-rounded. You can't fix one and leave one hanging. So, as chartered accountants, we have members listening. Accountants are known for building financial models, and they try to design forecasts. At the beginning of the year, people are putting things in place. And, for others, so many other people, they fail to do these things because they are careless about themselves. Why is physical and financial health, why is this self-accountability difficult for them? And what is your advice?
So I see this is sad because I see a lot of professionals who give advice, and it's not just among accountants, even the doctors and lawyers are guilty as well. They give advice, they sit in the advisory space. Unfortunately, they don't take their own advice. And why is this? There are a few factors that, in my opinion and experience, are found to be common and unique to them. Number one is the high expectations they have on themselves, they have placed on themselves. So they've placed very high standards on themselves. And when they cannot meet these standards, they just tend to go all in, go all out. They keep pushing themselves. Oh, I must get to AGM by the end of next year. Oh, I must complete my PhD by the end of next year. Oh, you see this whole all or nothing mindset, and they keep pushing themselves to be perfect. They keep pushing themselves to earn big bucks. They're under so much pressure. And most of this pressure is self-inflicted. There's also the issue of the fear of failure. And that fear is self-inflicted as well. So much expectation. You are a professional. Your spouse expects you to be so and so. Your colleagues are driving the best cars. They're living in the best environment. So there's pressure. There's social pressure. There's self-inflicted pressure. There's family pressure. Then there are those who are depending on you for lifestyle. You have shown them that you are a big boy. So they're going to put all of that pressure on you. You will find out that it's almost impossible, therefore, to, on the one hand, chase all of these goals, professionalism, wealth, career, and at the same time, focus on your health. Because remember what we said about the nexus and the clash. You only have 24 hours and you cannot chase two things at a time. They have to be very careful because for most of them, they are dealing with time constraints. They're dealing with heavy workload. If you are earning 10 million naira a month, you are going to do the work, especially if you're in the corporate environment. So for many accountants, not just accountants, professionals as well, many of them face long hours, they face deadlines, they face fatigue, they face stress. All of these issues, most of it as a result of lifestyle and social pressure, self-inflicted pressure, family pressure, economic pressure. The pressures are plenty and they are unable to deal with them. And for me, let me just say a couple of things more. This is really common among professionals, especially the professionals who tend to wear jackets. There's this whole sense of shame if they cannot seem to be putting it all together. If I cannot seem to be the best kid on the block, if I'm not the best professional, if I'm not an AGM at the age of 45, they all have this sense of shame. They feel, even when they're under pressure, they feel unable to admit. They cannot tell their wives, look, I cannot deal, I can't go on. I want to pause, I want to rest. But they can't because they feel ashamed. They feel like if they've not hit the bar, their sense of self-worth is affected. And all of these tend to affect accountants. And like I said, accountants, this service for you, but not just you, most professionals. So they're dealing with a lot of things. So yes, they do give advice. They understand this. Unfortunately, they tend to be unable to deal with these pressures and still take the advice that they give. So for me, that's what I've seen in my personal experience and in my opinion.
Thank you very much, my professional colleagues and other members of the professional body. But there's something I want to deduce from everything that you have said. When we talk about sacrifice and you talk about grind as part of the job for professionals, at what point does commitment, there's one thing to say you're committed to your work. At what point the commitment to your work begin to compromise your physical and your financial health, even for professionals? And what would we say are the types of, or the typical or practical examples or warning signs that would see in such situation? Coach T.
Oh, so let me share some with you. Personally, I was in the banking space for years. I did about 16 years in banking, so I am very familiar with this terrain. And I'll say this to accountants and my fellow professionals. Please understand this. When the pursuit of professional success overrides personal well-being and balance, just know that you're beginning to cross the line. When you begin to realize that work has become your identity, when you are defining yourself, you find out that before you even call your name, you are tempted to say, oh, I'm a chartered accountant, I'm the head of so and so, the head of this, my firm has done this. Just know that you are beginning to take on the identity of the work you do. When work has become your identity, instead of just being a part of your life. Then another thing is when you now begin to see rest as a weakness, whenever you say, oh, I want to rest, and instead of seeing rest as part of life, instead of seeing rest as what is the right thing to do, you see it as weakness. You say most of you do this, you say, oh, my wife and children are going on vacation while I stay back to work. And you think it's cool. When you begin to see that you are foregoing personal, decent health routines, you used to wake up and do stretches. You used to wake up and have 30 minutes meditation or 10 minutes meditation. You used to have me time. You used to have some sense of balance, but all of that is being overridden by, oh, I must achieve this, or I'm going for this conference, or I'm chasing the next shiny badge, or I'm chasing the next level, or I'm chasing the next amount. Understand that you're beginning to cross the lines. When you start finding yourself compensating for stress, when you find out that you're beginning to take, and this is where abuse comes in, when you begin to depend on substances to be able to cope. Instead of having a cup of coffee, you find yourself taking 10 cups of coffee, 15 cups of coffee. You constantly have headaches. You're now taking painkillers to suppress the ache and keep doing the job. These are all warning signs. These are the things that blur the lines. When you find out that you're seated at your desk for hours, when you find out you constantly keep canceling vacations, you find out that you are always tired. And for me, let me share one. Women, when you find yourself, for the women who have children, when you find yourself shouting at that child for no reason, just know that you're beginning to cross the lines. So these are the issues with professionals. And if you're not careful, you'll begin to sacrifice your health on the altar of the career or the money or the wealth you're chasing.
I'm sure you're speaking to a lot of minds today. And my dear audience, I hope you're listening, because the children are on break now and I still hear some parents screaming down the road. So, I mean, let's just take it cool. And she has also informed us that by the time it takes you to put your career first before your personality, then there's a problem. I am a chartered accountant, so she has told us to lower our steez, right? And and take our health first before the career. Thank you very much. I know there are some parents here listening. You say, oh, I want my children to go on vacation, and then I have so much work to do, I can't go on vacation. There's just one life. Know that there's just one life. Thank you very much, Coach T. You know, many Nigerians engage in different jobs to boost their incomes. Not even only Nigerians, even people abroad. They try to merge one or two jobs, you know, do different things at the same time. And this leads to long working hours. They say, I'm fit. I mean, I can do it. I'm fit. I can multitask. As a financial coach, what are the practical strategies that you would advise in order for us to mitigate this burnout. We are burning out. We just don't know it. And especially if people are putting in extra hours because of the extra income. How would you advise us to take it slow? Coach T, are you with us? Okay, I'm not sure if our network is good enough. I don't know. Coach T, please confirm. Yes, network has happened
In today's interconnected world, complexity is the new normal. An accountant must navigate this landscape, leveraging interdisciplinary approaches to drive sustainable growth. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, USA District, invites you to our 12th ICAN USA International Accountant Conference. Join us for 4 days of inspiring keynotes, interactive sessions, and expert panel sessions. Date is 26th to 31st of August 2024.
Okay. You're welcome back to ICAN On Air, and I see a lot of our audience sending in their comments and talking about Coach T. We've been having a swell time here. Good evening, PC. This is from Vivian Mbo, and then Ayogo Chijoke Celestine. Samuel Chukuka Aliagu, we see you from Benin and District Society, Edo State. We see Emmanuel Agegu also viewing from Just City. Fagbola Timitokwa, it says, health is wealth. The more we balance our family health, the more opportunities we have to increase our wealth. The former is goodwill from heaven, while the later is a goodwill on earth. Balancing it makes the world a better place for all. One day we shall be in the studio together because you seem to be an educationist. You know it best. I mean, thank you so much for your view. I see Odebi Adiola Mary, Oluwabusayomi, Elizabeth, Shaibu, Abdul Salam. I see Effiong Victoria, and also Ahmed Oladipupo Abubakar. I see every one of you, and we still have Coach T in the house discussing how we can balance our wellness in different ways, both the financial wellness. She's the financial coach, and she would also let us know what is important about our wellness, our physical wellness. Thank you so much, Coach T, for running us through all those vital details about our wellness.
Thank you. Thanks for me. I got tossed out for a minute.
Oh, yes. Before you went on that short break, I was just talking about Nigerians in particular and how we try to engage in different jobs that would likely burn us out. We don't know we are being burnt out. We're just looking out for the multiple incomes. How would you advise us? What practical strategies should we take to ensure that we cut it out when we need to cut it?
Oh, so for me, this is really scary because I am a personal finance coach. So I always give the advice, add multiple streams of income. But I am quick to add, be careful that you're not adding multiple streams of stress. You are supposed to be loading income without the commensurate stress. And that will lead me to a few things I would recommend for those who tend to keep piling on additional tasks, additional roles, all in the name of additional streams of income. Don't chase every naira. Be strategic. Redefine your hustle. As much as you can, chase more value than more volume. Try and pack in more value for your hour. Redefine your hourly rates. So instead of doing 10 hours on a one-on-one consultation where the person is paying you maybe 1 million naira, why don't you do group coaching where each person pays you 500,000 and you can do 20 of them at once? Same time, same energy you're going to disseminate, and you're getting far more value. So look at your strategies again. How are you earning money? How can you make it more efficient? Now we have technology. All of that knowledge you have, I'll give an example. Even as I'm on this call with you, for me, right? I'm getting alerts from digital products I created long ago. Some of them, when I even get the alert, I'll be wondering what's this person paying for? Why? Because I've been able to master the art of passive income streams. And that's what most of us need to begin to do. We need to repackage what we're selling, our products. We need to re-strategize. If you're engaging a 9 to 5 job, you already know that 8 hours of your day are for your employer. There's a limit to what you can do with those 8 hours. Indeed, there's a limit to what you can do with the 16 hours you'll be awake. You need to re-strategize. You need to ask yourself, what can I do to earn passively? Because I'm already actively engaged. I spend 10 hours in traffic some days. I spend 8 hours with my employer. I am tired. I cannot load on more physical work. So ask yourself, can I create digital products? Can I get more affiliate income? Can I leverage on the multiple assets I have? What else can I do? And you need to sit down and put these things in place. Most times you cannot do it alone. You need to work with someone. You need to work with someone who is more objective, because many of us are too close to our hustle, so we cannot see clearly. You need to, again, this is the second thing I'm going to say. You need to plan your rest periods. And it's not enough to just plan. You are going to need to fund it, right? So two things: you plan your rest, don't negotiate. You don't have to go on a vacation. You can go on a staycation. You can say, look, no matter what happens, the 1 hour before bedtime is sacred. My phone goes off, all screens go off. I want to rest. I want to take, it's your time. You are the one who is going to take charge of your time. Remember, time is not refundable. You are never going to get it back. And it affects every one of us. So ask yourself, what am I doing with my time? What hard lines am I going to put in place for my personal self? I have some times that nobody comes into my space. It's my time. You can't even access me. You can't see me. You won't know. I don't go outside. I stay indoors and I rejuvenate. So ask yourself, what can I do? It doesn't always have to cost money. So create those kinds of times. It doesn't have to be 1 month. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks. It can be 5 minutes every day. It can be 10 minutes per day. It can be 15 minutes a week, whatever it is. But ensure that it is sacred. Then in all of your spending, many of you spend hundreds of millions sending your children abroad.
Dr. Coach T, I almost said Dr. T. Okay, that's such an interesting perspective about how we should keep ourselves sane. And I really enjoyed the part where she mentioned your time is for you. You can take it back. And I try to do that. Sometimes I just lock myself in. My children bang the door, mommy, open. I said, no, this is my time. I need to set, like they would say. So please, are you learning? We need to learn how to do it best. We don't want you to wear out. We don't want you looking older than your age. And we don't want you pursuing finances that you would not spend because you are not taking care of your health. You're welcome back, Coach T.
Today is today. Okay, so
we
I don't
understand.
know at what point I got tossed out. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was just saying we need to plan our rest times, we need to balance. And in all of these things, I hear people already saying, yes, it's easy to say rest, it's easy to say balance, but who is going to fund it? I need money to rest. And I'm going to say to them, no, you do not. You don't need money to rest. You don't need money to do yoga. You don't need money to do stretches. You don't need money to do mindfulness. We need to start learning how to practice mindfulness, how to stay in the moment and be fully conscious of yourself, how to just pause and breathe. For some of you, especially those of you in Lagos, I don't know how you deal with it. If you know you're going to be in traffic, how do you maximize the time you spend in traffic? Instead of chatting away, instead of doing work even in transit, why don't you convert that to me time or begin to be more creative? Can you create digital products while you're in transit? Can you record podcasts? What can you do so that you maximize the time you have? And I'll wrap up this response by saying, for me, let as many people as possible go on vacations. Spend time with your children. I mean, this fight is serious. Fathers, and this is for fathers, mothers tend to connect more with children. And I'm being very generalistic, but I know from experience. Fathers, try to spend more time with your toddlers. Those, you see those children that annoy you, stay with them in that zone, connect with them, enjoy the laughter of a child, enjoy the tingling sound of a baby, carry the babies, stay with them. It makes you younger. Do mental maths with them. Ask the child 19 times 8, and you to be calculating it. Don't press calculator, sit down there and do the math. You will find out that these little exercises day by day. Have a garden. Even if you can't own a garden, nurse a plant, one plant, nurse it, give it life. All of these things can help with your little space, your little money, your little time. You can begin to incorporate all of these elements, and believe me, it makes all the difference.
So that is, I hope you heard Coach T, and that was quite interesting. You need to be young again. You need to crawl with the babies. You need to do all sort of games with them, the little rhymes. Thank you very much, Coach T, for being practical. You've talked about men, right? And I know that when I was reading your profile, there were things around women association that you work with that you have nurtured. And I know that in 2023, the international during the International Women's Day in 2023, you were celebrated in Nigeria as one of the top 100 most promising women owned in small and medium enterprise, shaping the future of business in Nigeria. Can you tell our global audience who want to learn from you right now how to balance the wellness and how to grow and also to be profitable for their SMEs, businesses, and even those in MSME?
So for me, of course, for me, this question has many answers, and I'm not going to sit down here and claim all of the accolades to myself. I have a team. I have a fantastic support team. I got married to somebody who is my team, who is a team player. So for those of you who plan to get married, please let's start from there. Marry a kind person. Marry someone who is a team player. If not, you'll be fighting multiple battles. So I am blessed not to be fighting that battle. My husband supports. For instance, sometimes I have to travel, and he babysits. He does all of the school runs. Sometimes he holds the camera. Sometimes he helps me shoot my videos. He's my living editor. So that helps. You also need to know your numbers. Too many business owners are chasing Nairas and Kobos, and they're not sitting down to do the numbers. They don't even know if they're profitable. They're not, women run away from numbers. Once you put numbers, women tend to run away. They do not look at financials. So for the MSMEs, especially my gender, please let's pause and look at the numbers. Let's pay attention to the numbers. Pay attention to customer service. Pay attention to technology. I leverage technology a lot. I therefore do not have too many staff, but I use technology to my advantage. I also create products. I constantly touch people across the world using technology. So I'm going to say to the MSMEs, as much as possible, have a solid support team. Work with your children, let them understand where the money is coming from. Too many of us shield our children from, my children understand. In fact, when you want to buy something, they'll ask, the first thing they'll ask you, is it in the budget? They understand budgeting. But some of you are covering your children. You are going through pressure. You are pretending that all is well. You are still funding expensive habits that you can no longer afford. So I'll wrap it up by saying, look, MSMEs, there is the business finance, but there's your personal finance. Most times, and the accountants will show you, most times, the business, if left on its own, will thrive. But by the time you load your personal financial issues on top of the business, it begins to cripple the business. So I would encourage every MSME, small business owner, medium, even the corporates, even the large corporates, take your personal finance seriously. If you get it right, your business will thrive. If your person is right, if you are healthy, if your finances are healthy, your support system is healthy, you are living within your means, you are saving, you are budgeting, you are investing, you are preparing for retirement, you are funding healthcare, you are taking care of the old people, you have a budget for charity. If you are doing the right things, you will not put pressure on your business. And if there's no pressure on the business will breathe, the business will grow, the business will take care of you today, take care of you tomorrow, and in many cases, it will take care of your descendants. So that's what I do, and that's what I encourage small and medium businesses to do as well.
So I can tap into the one of marry a team player. Oh, fantastic. Well done. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you so much to Mr. Olumoye for doing great job. And we are giving you that trophy from the winner folks are giving him a trophy. Thank you very much, Cook.
Yes, thank you.
So, um, I mean, while you were talking, I had a lot of perspective, especially when you say while you are in traffic. I mean, even we in Lagos, we don't know how we survive, but they said we'll be the first to enter heaven. That's what I heard the politicians say. But my question is, you mentioned that we can start recording while in traffic and do this. So most times I try to nap, which is also a good one. But just speaking on the digital space where you are receiving alerts, and I know that I have my share in it because that alert is coming in during ICAN On Air. Due to the surge in opportunities for digital space, a lot of people are in the digital space right now. Many have become consumed with the pursuit of growth. They want the wealth, they want that growth, but as a financial knowledge coach, how can we strike that balance between the digital space opportunities and management of our wealth, or the wealth that comes from it?
Oh yeah, so I always tell people, and for me, this is general. It doesn't matter whether you're young or old. You need to define your values. What exactly are you chasing? Too many people are chasing what they don't know. I cannot remember the philosopher who said it, so I'm not going to attribute it wrongly, but he basically said, if you don't know what you're chasing, how can you recognize it when you get it? And many of us, we have not defined what we're chasing. You need to define, what are you chasing? What are you looking for? And for me, I'm going to be very practical with you now. This is me. I know myself by design, by default. What makes me happy? I thrive in seclusion. I'm a hermit. I love to stay indoors. What does this mean? It is almost impossible for you to see me, hey, about a vacation. I don't want to travel. In fact, most times I pay people to go on my behalf. I don't want to travel. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go to the cinema. I don't want to. My idea of bliss is to stay in my room and focus on work. I'm a creative. I create content. I create books. I create sport. Because I solve people's problems. I have my sessions. If I don't have any other thing to do, I sleep. If I cannot sleep, I rest. There's always so much you can do, but that is me. I have defined it. What does this mean? While many of you are going to be under pressure looking for $8,000 to go on a vacation, I'm not with you on that boat. Now ask yourself, do I really, really need this new pair of shoes? Am I buying the shoes because I love shoes, or because I saw it on someone else's feet and they looked good? Am I spending this? It's important you define your values, so that when you are chasing all of these monies you are chasing, you are aligning them with your values. If you don't do that, guess what's going to happen? 10, 15 years down the line, you will look back and you'll ask yourself, what on earth did I do with my life? And there's nobody more miserable than that person. So I'm going to say to people who are earning money from all of the digital things, be careful what you're chasing and the price you're paying for it. Do not sacrifice your youth on the altar of wealth. It is not worth it. You will never be young again. So ask yourself, what am I chasing? Define your goal, set up your financial plan. And by the way, I'm assuming everyone listening to me has set up their financial plans properly. Set up your financial plan, have a healthy budget. Let your goals be clear, long, medium, short-term goals. Allocate your funds appropriately. Then chase the things that really, really matter. If you do that, you'll be healthy, you'll be fine. You will find out that you have more than enough time during the day. You will use digital assets the way they should be used. You will not suffer burnout. You'll be like me. Somehow I always look happy, even when I'm stressed, I'm tired, because I have understood the value of contentment. I am genuinely contented. So, dear Gen Zs, Gen As, and now the newborn Gen B, be careful what you're chasing. The digital space is an asset. The digital space is a gift.
Okay, Coach T. Oh, it appears we lost Coach T. I also tapped out for just a second. I don't know what happened to both of us, but it's good to be with you again. It's ICAN On Air, and we're discussing something for us to know all these things and ahead. One thing is sure, right? As much as we're seeking for wealth, we want finances, we want to grow. You need to take care of your health. How many people? I want to look at the comments. We have a lot of comments from people in the studio today. I see. Okay, I see. Uja promise, Dr. Uja. He says for those that aren't lucky to have a team player as spouse, especially career-wise, what advice would you give them to balance health and finances? Oh, wow. Okay. I'll wait for Coach T to answer that question. And then I have a comment also. Let me acknowledge some people that have joined. We have Travis, Ekere, and Etin. Olaide Alamu is joining from Oyo State. I also have Isikem. Oh yes, I've read that. Abungozi TV says, please, are they going to award marks for this? Don't worry, we're working on it. He said, I mean MCPD. Yes, I understand what you mean. Good evening, professional colleagues. This is from Chilacom Global Consult. And I also see Kilani. Thank you, everyone, for joining the program. And it's been quite an interesting and insightful discussion here. We're talking about physical and financial health, balancing wellness. And Mrs. Tobore Olumoye is here with us. She's back here. Don't worry. It's okay. Nightmare happened to us. Network happens to anybody, irrespective of who you are.
Honestly, no respect.
No respect. You're welcome back. I think I'll just share my question with you because I have a question that, aside the people making so much wealth from the digital space, I also want us to look at beyond just saving for emergencies. You said you don't travel. Some of us find pleasure in traveling to see, just as tourists, we like to see places, and there's always a budget for it. But we find comfort in what our body wants, right? Which is valid. But how can Nigerians, or should I say everyone, because we have audience everywhere across the globe, how can we strategically invest, or how can we save towards health measures in a way that we are dieting, we have the fitness? I'm guilty of this because I signed up for 1 year, and I can tell you how many times this year I've gone to my gym, but it's okay. It's a family package and the other members are going diligently. I would emphasize on that. And how can we, apart from saying fitness, activities, stress management, what are the tools or what approaches do you think can best suit this, especially in this local region? Let's use Nigeria, for example. And if you can include examples for people in the diaspora space, yes, that would be fine, ma.
Oh, yeah. So thanks. Oh, for me, not that I don't travel, but I'm not excited about it. I do travel. I have family, so I must travel. However, there's a budget for it. So I'm going to start with the budget. Please stay with the budget. Set up a clear budget. And I know we're almost out of time, but let me say this. If your budget is made up of only expenses, you are budgeting wrong. So many of you go online and you check all this 50, 30, 20 percentage thing and you're feeling cool. Please, that is not a complete budget. You must have a budget for income. You must have a budget for investment. You must have a budget for savings. And when you save, you must save long-term, medium, short-term. When you invest, you must invest across. Your portfolio has to be robust, long, medium, solvent, liquid, self-owned, group-owned. You know how at the proper investment portfolio, your portfolio has to be robust before you start thinking about spending. Many of you, once you earn, you start spending. No, you must save, you must invest. And even in your earning, you must give yourself clear targets for earning. If you don't hit those targets, you cannot spend anyhow. So how are you earning? Now, when you earn, you also need to match. You need to take care of yourself. So ensure that you have clear goals in your budget. Check, am I budgeting for self-care? Am I budgeting for healthcare? And remember that you are not a standalone. You are an African. You are tied to many people. You are tied to parents, uncles, in-laws. I like to ask people who will fall sick in your circle and it will affect your finances. Ensure that your budget covers such people. Do you have funeral plans in place for your parents? Because someday they will die. When they die, will it affect your cash flow? Do you have funeral plans for your in-laws? Do you have health insurance? Do you have life insurance? All of those things, it's part of your financial plan. You must have a robust risk plan. Do you have a plan in place for enjoyment? You should flex. You deserve it. Enjoy. And when I say enjoy yourself, it doesn't mean you must go and drink and make merry and spend more. Take care of yourself. Pamper yourself. Some of you see going to the spa or having a massage as luxury. No, it's not. You don't even have to go to an expensive one. You can do local. You can eat good food. You can say once a week, I will take something nice. Put enjoyment in your budget. It doesn't have to be expensive, but plan for it. Plan to earn more, plan to save more, plan to invest more. And in all of this, try not to sacrifice your health. What does this mean? Leverage communities, leverage associations, all those your WhatsApp groups you belong to. Instead of quarreling with everybody there and abusing government, you can leverage those people there and make more money. Ask yourself, how are you all coming together to create wealth without burnout? If you do all of this, life will be a lot easier. Then even in the midst of your travels, and like if you find yourself in traffic, something happened today. I was driving to my daughter's school to pick up her result, and an idea came to me. I just put on my recorder. So while others were screaming about the rain and traffic, I was creating content. I was utilizing the time because I couldn't do much else. I just put on my recorder. So use technology, leverage, use people. You have connections, you have contacts. When last did you make a friend across the globe? When last did you make a friend in Singapore, in Thailand? Are all your friends in Yanopaja and in Ilupeju? Where else in the world do you deliberately connect with people? The world is now at your fingertips, literally. Beyond scrolling idly, ask yourself, what are you doing with the power in your hands? If you do all of these things, you can get so much more out of life. And I will not forget to say, in all of your enjoying and learning and living and making money, please find time to visit those important places that give life a meaning. Go to the hospital. See people who are less fortunate than you. Go to the accident and emergency ward. Go to the orthopedic wards. Go and see women in Skibu. Go to the special care babies unit. Go to A&E. If you can, visit the morgue. If you can, visit the prisons. And then you'll begin to appreciate the power, the gifts, the luxury you have of health, of time, of freedom. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes the thing you complain about is what someone else is praying for. Say, God, when can I sit down in traffic? God, when can I sit on my own? But you have it as a gift. Recognize it as such and enjoy your life to the fullest. So for me, that's what I will say to them tonight.
Thank you. I mean, I'm blessed by your sermon. Thank you very much. Even today, I'm forced to call you a prof. Thank you very much for speaking to the minds of a lot of people. And your voice is loud, and we heard it, and we'll live by it. Thank you very much. But you know that even as elites, a lot of elites don't do medical checkup. They don't check their health. They opt for the traditional medicine over the conventional medical treatment. What advice will you give us?
For me, I didn't know you were going to ask
I'm
me
not,
this question.
I'm not part of them though, but would you
Let
give
me
all
show
of
you.
us?
Let me show you something. Can you see this? This is my sphere. Yeah?
Yes.
Guess where it's seated? This is my library. This is my home office. It is on the desk. So that at every point in time, I have a visual reminder that whatever I am doing has the capacity to affect my blood pressure. Before I start, I check it. As I'm ending, I check it. So I'm tracking. I'm going to encourage, for many of us who struggle to do these things, you may not be able to go to the hospital, but if you can check once a month, check your blood sugar. Every single day, track your blood pressure, write it down. Since you refuse to go and do this, ask you to check it by yourself, then measure against standard. So check. Give yourself 1 year, once a year, do a physical. You know, most CEOs know they are the ones that don't go, but they pay for their staff to go. But I want to encourage you, even if you cannot do any other thing, please track your blood pressure, track your blood sugar, check your weight, check your BMI. You know the numbers, just check those numbers. Nobody will preach anything to you on your own. You will begin to incorporate them. But I would encourage you, there's no point making all of that money and you're unable to enjoy it. When you visit a stroke patient, you will know the importance of taking care of your blood pressure. You see all this running around, they're running. You think that your organization cannot do without you. I joke, I laugh in joke. According to Gen Zs, please, you are replaceable, you are dispensable, but you shouldn't be. Please take care of yourself. CEOs, live by example, lead by example. I know many of you belong to polo clubs, you belong to gyms, you belong to fancy things. Even if you can't do all of that, let me share something I do. That I do time blocking. So you can say once you wake up, many of you like to do prayer and fasting, and that's all fine. But after you've done the 10 minutes for God, do 10 minutes for yourself. Just pause. Do yoga, breathing exercise. It doesn't have to be anything, it can just be the simple stretches. Start with those and start your day right. If you do this, even if it's 5 minutes a day, then count your steps, 10,000, even if you cannot do 10,000, 6,000 steps a day, every day. Track it. When you check your financial report, check your health report, check your blood pressure tracking, check your steps count, check your fasting blood sugar. Just those few things. Let me not add too many, just those few. If you do them, you will find out that you will pay attention to the numbers that count beyond your balance sheet. Check your health balance sheet as well.
Thank you. I'm just looking at the time and I'm constrained to just say, I wish we could go on. But I just want the final words from you, advice to all my audience and my professional colleagues and even the people in the diaspora. What advice will you give us, even workaholics? And maybe you should just try to also speak to the people that are unemployed as we speak now and how they want to get financial safety nets. Thank you very much. In 1 minute, please, Doc.
In 1 minute, if you are unemployed, not in this era, you don't have an excuse. Please find somewhere, leverage, use technology, offer your services, volunteer. Then for those who have jobs, I will remind you, you cannot do a good job if your job is all you do. I started with that quote. So live not for the job, use the job to live a better life. Those will be my final words to you. Don't sacrifice your health on the altar of your job. It's not worth it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tobore Olumoye. That's what I've called you. And you're already an FCA. You're the friend of Chartered Accountant. Thank you very much for coming to grace this occasion today and for teaching us so much about well-being. Thank you very much. We hope that we'll call you soon and then you yield to our call. Do have a good evening, man. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Welcome. Thank you so much, ma'am. We've come to the end of the program. It's so good to see that we've learned so much from today's episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining the program. I'd just like to take 1 or 2 announcements. Remember,
have your attention, please?
Africa's biggest accounting conference is here again. The 55th ICAN Annual Accountants Conference holds October 6 to 10, 2025.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching today's program. We hope that you're going to join us in 2 weeks' time, Thursday, for another exciting program. Remember that a healthy body and a healthy financial situation will contribute to a happier and more balanced life. Thank you so much for joining today's program. My name remains Fumi Olani. I want to say thank you to everyone behind the scenes, my colleagues. Thank you very much for doing a fantastic job on ICAN On Air. Do have yourself a splendid evening, and please stay healthy.